Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing? Today we are going to do a Colourpop try on haul, which I am super excited about. I have my little box here, which I wouldn't say is full of goodies, but there's like a decent amount of things. And basically the story is I haven't made an order from Colourpop in like a year and a half. So this is kind of just an assortment of things that have caught my attention over the past year or so, and just things I really wanted to try. One of these is a repurchase. And I just felt like I took a decent break from Colourpop. I wasn't happy with some of the things that they were doing with their inclusivity, but one of the products that I bought here was actually not a collaboration, but the Neon MUA worked like on the line with Colourpop, so I wanted to go ahead and try it out because I love his face palettes with Midas Cosmetics, and I just thought that I would try a few things today, so I hope you're excited for this video. I don't have any makeup on yet, so let's go ahead and jump on in. So the very first product I have, slash probably the most boring, is the Colourpop Brow Gel. I just thought I would try this out because I really like the Essence Brow Gel. I have the Make Me Brow one in the shade Brownie Brows. I use this all the time, and I normally like just do my full brow and then I'll add a little bit of powder in my tail where I have some sparse hairs. So I thought I would try the Colourpop version since the price is pretty similar and they have more of a shade range. I grabbed the shade Blonde. I want to say that it had something else to it, like it was like warm blonde or something. I don't know. Ooh, okay. Definitely pigmented, which can be a good thing or a bad thing with brow gel. I really like it to have like the perfect amount where I can kind of coat the tail and then take whatever's left over and like fluff it through the front without it being too much. I was just tweezing too, so if you see a bunch of redness, that's why. Okay, I think I like it. It did a good job for a quick brow look, but at the same time, it is kind of uneven. I don't know if you can tell, it just like looks like it's really sticking in some areas, and then other areas like not so much. So I feel like I couldn't just throw this on and go. I definitely am gonna need some powder to kind of even it out, so I'll play with it more. I'm just gonna use some full brow powder in the shade Taupe. Just fill in those sparse areas real quick. I don't know. Even like putting it on top, I feel like it looks kind of uneven. You guys will have to let me know how you think it looks on camera. Okay, so the next thing that I picked up is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer, and I have the shade Fair 1N, and this is actually a repurchase. I had this, I think in maybe the shade 5W, and it was a gift from a friend, and I lost it after using a decent amount of it, and I just really like this tinted moisturizer. I almost picked it up a few months back at Ulta, and I was like, no, I don't need it, and I talked myself out of it because I repurchased the IT Cosmetics foundation at that same like Ulta trip. I've only been to Ulta once in a really long time. It was that time. But anyways, I just thought when I was on their website, I was like, I may as well grab it. They were having like a 30% off sale, and I just remember really liking it. I did go in with some moisturizer before I did my makeup, but I feel like I should use some primer. This is ridiculous, but I'm gonna like, I'm trying to finish up this Becca primer. It's the Becca First Light, so I'm just trying to get what I can out of it. I remember if you're supposed to shake this before you use it or not. I'm just gonna go in with like one pump of this. I honestly don't even remember how I used this. I think I may have used my fingers. It's been a long time since I used it. All right, so I'm just gonna blend that with my hands. Oh yeah, that looks really pretty. Feels super soft on the skin as well. Like feels very hydrating. Oh yeah, that blended super easy and it just looks really nice. Definitely very light coverage, but I am a-okay with that. I'm gonna go into the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the satin finish with the shade Fair Warm. This is a little bit dark for me, especially for underneath my eyes. So I'm just gonna go in with a little tiny bit so that I can sheer it out a bit, and then actually a little tiny bit on my nose too because I've got some redness there. And just tap that in. Okay, so next, this is a product that has intrigued me for a long time. I feel like I've heard decent things about it. I decided to go ahead and pick up the Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm. I don't know that I'll ever use this on my body, but I grabbed the shade Fair for my face for bronzer. Kind of reminds me of the Chanel Soleil de Tan de Chanel, which I did have at one point, but I actually ended up selling it. So I'm curious to see how I'll like this. On first look, I'm feeling a little bit suspicious. Just kidding, but this looks very, very orange. I feel like that's... Smells good. Smells like summer, but I don't know. I don't know that's gonna work for me. Okay, at least it picks up like a little bit more sheer. Yeah, you can kind of see it here. At least it doesn't look so orange sheared out. I don't even know what brush I want to use. I have this buffing bronzer brush from Anissa Beauty, so I'm just gonna go ahead and try that just because it's a little bit like more dense and it might work well. Pick up a little bit. It's picking up easily. I feel like that is not a good color for me. Dang. I feel like I could blend it in and like make it work. And it doesn't look necessarily like super bad, but I don't love it. Guess it looks okay. I'm kind of undecided. Another thing I'll definitely have to keep playing with, see how I feel. But I feel like on first impression, I like the formula more than the Tower 28 Bronzing Balm, which I forgot about. Oh, I have it right here. I like the color of this, but I just feel like it's like really hard pressed in the pan, and I have to like use my fingers to make it warm first, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like this is like a little bit of a thinner formula, which I think makes it easier to blend out without like disturbing anything else. Not that I have a lot of foundation on or anything today, but just making a note. Next, I have one of the face palettes I purchased. This is the Extra Glaze palette, which came in kind of odd packaging. I don't know what happened here, but just go ahead and open it. Oh, okay, well actually it does have normal packaging. It's a lot smaller than I thought it was gonna be. Maybe that's just to protect it. This is actually like a really cute size. There was 2 of these that I was interested in, but I just decided to go ahead and pick up one to try. So here is what Extra Glaze looks like. So there's 3 different blushes, which all have like a little bit different tones, and then a highlighter as well. So let's go ahead and swatch it. Ooh, this highlight is so smooth. Feels like a super shock cheek. Ooh, okay, the blush is a powder, but again, it feels really, really smooth. It almost looks like it has like a little bit of a glow to it, even though it looks matte in the pan. These seem nice. And then we've got this really pretty kind of neutral blush. Just stunning as well. Don't know that I swatched that amazingly, but there's what all 4 shades look like together. Definitely a really cute, just cool toned, very fair face palette. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and dip into the light pink right here. Just throw that on. It's so odd because it looks matte, but it just looks like this really healthy matte finish. It's super pretty. Like you can't really see the glow, but it's not like setting down the face either. It's very, very strange in the best way. That makes me wish I picked up the other shade I liked too. The thing was though, is that I like added everything in my cart that I was like mildly interested in, and suddenly I had like $100 worth of stuff, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not happening. So I had to rein it back in. I also skipped on the Baby Yoda palette, which I slightly regret now because I saw some more pictures of it afterwards and I was like, oh, I should have just got it. It was like $11. Regrets. Right, normally I do highlighter after I do my eye makeup, but because I already know exactly what I'm going to be using, may as well just do it. I have not used a super shock cheek highlight in so long. I'm like, do I even use a brush? Do I use my fingers? I'm going to try it with a brush first just to see, but we'll switch to fingers if need be. Just grabbing it on a Sigma Soft Blend 40. Yeah, it's definitely really pretty. I feel like my skin looks so nice right now, actually. So definitely, I like that face palette. I feel like it seems to be pretty good quality. The blush and the highlight blended well and they look nice, so not mad at it at all. I think it was like $10. And the last thing that I picked up from Colourpop and I'm so excited about, I opened it already and it just took my breath away. I put it back in the packaging for the haul, but it's fine. I'm just so excited to finally be trying this palette, and I just think that it looks like something I could see using all the time. I don't know. This is the Colourpop Stone Cold Fox palette, and it's just Such a stunning cool tone palette, and even though it has a ton of shades, the actual size is not too big. Let me see what I can compare it to. For example, I have the Sydney Grace Tiny Marvels palette here, which has 15 shades in it. So it's just a little bit bigger than that. And here's what it looks like on the inside. It's honestly just like a cool toned, neutral dream palette. I feel so happy looking at this. Like, I feel like all the shades just look so good. There's like some mauves, some cool tone browns, some grays. Like, it just, oh, I don't know. In person, this just looks like if I didn't do YouTube, this is a palette I would see myself using every single day. And then maybe like adding some single indie shadows in on top of it. But I just have a feeling I'm gonna love this if the quality is good, because just looking at it, it's stunning. I honestly don't think I'm gonna sit here and swatch out this entire palette just because it's a lot of shadows, but maybe we could just do a few that are calling to me just out of curiosity. So we've got So Fine here, which looks like a really pretty soft pink. This one, Magnetic Moon, is calling to me. It's like a pretty silver. Let's see. I really like this gray too, Rumor Mill. Ooh, that feels pretty smooth. Looks good. And then maybe let's do this one right here called Drama Mama. It's like a really nice matte brown. Don't those look good? I'm so excited. Yeah, the shimmers kind of look what I would expect from Colourpop, because in general they're normally more just like softer. So I feel like this palette in combination with some of my like cool toned singles is gonna be so nice. I'm just gonna do the Crow and Pebble eyeshadow primer in the shade Parchment real quick. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start off with this gray right here called You Rock, just on a big fluffy blending brush. I'm gonna throw that through my entire crease. Does not have to be anything super precise. I kind of just want to do what I would be drawn to do with this palette on like an everyday basis. Just like a simple, fun, smoky eye. I'm like someone just hit my window. That was weird. Oh, I think it was a bird. Oh, poor buddy. Anyways, that's blending out. All right, I think next I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Bold Type. Just using a slightly smaller fluffy brush. Bring that a little bit lower down in the crease. Okay, next I'm gonna go ahead and do this shade right here called Sediment to Be. And I'm gonna run that along my entire lower lash line. It's really pretty. So I think now I'm gonna go into the shade Cult Clastic and pop that in my outer V just for a little extra bit of depth. I just kind of want to play with as many shades as possible, especially matte shadows, but I feel like they're blending and looking really nice. I'm really excited. Like, you know when you just try something and it's like perfectly your preference and it like works well, and it's just like, I feel like this is definitely going to be worth the money. And it's, I mean, not that it was that much, but just that it's going to be a favorite despite everything else that I already own. Just going back and blending it out with the bigger brush. I kind of want to try the black just like to see how it blends, even though that'll make this a little tiny bit more dramatic. So that's going to be the shade Rock Bottom. Just picking up a tiny little bit of that and throwing it in my outer V. Okay, definitely looks like a very easy to use black. It doesn't look like you put it down and it's like bam, pigment, hard to blend. You even feel like I can go in with a little bit more. Yeah, it looks nice as well. And again, going in with my fluffy brush over that edge. For my inner corner, I'm gonna go into that soft pink So Fine. Kind of reminds me of the shade Romeo from the Sydney Grace Enduring Love palette. But this one's a little bit more sparkly, a little bit less satin. So I'm gonna go ahead and try Magnetic Moon all over the lid, but I might go in with something else over top in a second. Just a really pretty silver. mean, that does look really nice. But I just kind of want to put an indie single over it. Like I said, I would probably use this the most just to show you, especially because I have like a specific shadow in mind. Even though this one's looking pretty nice on its own, actually. Definitely a very fun, quick smoky eye. I have a shade here called Palladium from Terra Moons, which is like a super intense, like pinky metal shade. So I'm just gonna pick up a tiny little bit of that and pop it on the outer half of my lid, just to add some extra sparkle. Okay, really quickly off camera, I'm gonna throw on some liner, some mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay, last but not least, I'm gonna finish off with the Propa Beauty lipstick in the shade Moxie. Alright, so this is the finished look, and I have to say I really love how it turned out. I feel like overall this haul was a success. The brows, although at first I was like, I don't know, I feel like they actually look pretty good. Like something about like the uneven texture makes them look like a little bit more bushy, but like in the best way possible, like for me, because I don't love like the super untanned brow look just for myself personally, because I already have thicker brows. I like them to kind of stay in check, but I just feel like they look like naturally full with that brow gel, especially like a little bit further away. Up close I'm kind of like meh, but further away I really like it. The eyeshadow I feel like blended really easily, and I'm just completely here for the color story. The cheek palette I thought was really nice. Like I think this highlight looks stunning. The Tinted Moisturizer I already knew that I love, and then the bronzer I'm a little bit iffy about. Like I just don't love the color, but then when I look at my face overall as an entire look, I don't think that it looks bad. So you'll have to let me know if you've tried any of these products, or if there's anything else from Colourpop that has released that I'm like absolutely missing out on, because these were the like few things that really caught my attention. Like I said, the Baby Yoga palette as well, but I was like, don't do it. I kind of wish I had just done it, but it's fine. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.